Okay. Hello, bonjour, Denny Maganaduk. My name is Jim Compton, and I would like to welcome you to a special celebration and show commemorating We Are All Treaty People, a settler-initiated celebration of treaty. On behalf of the We Are All Treaty People Celebration Planning Committee, we'd like to welcome you to this fifth annual celebration. And this morning at the Kapamamayak Achak Healing Forest located at St. John's Park, we had the opening ceremonies, which included a pipe ceremony and a water ceremony which was led by the elders from the Treaty Relations Commission of Manitoba, Elders Philip and Florence Painter. The celebration was and commemoration was organized by a number of churches in the Winnipeg area with support from the Treaty Relations Commission of Manitoba. As far as we know, this is the only settler-initiated commemoration of the 150th anniversary of Treaty 1 and 2. As you know, 2021 is a special year for the celebration as it marks the 150th commemoration of the makings of Treaties 1 and 2 in August of 1871. And a welcoming ceremony was planned and was initiated this morning to bring settlers and newcomers together with Indigenous elders and leadership as a recognition of this important anniversary. So we were honored that the Elders Council of the Treaty Relations Commission of Manitoba offered to facilitate this welcoming ceremony. So get those things out of the way and get to the entertainment. So I welcome you to the entertainment section of that celebration. And we will be bringing that to you this afternoon for the next couple of hours. But I'd also like to introduce you to Kerry Saner-Harvey from the Mennonite Church. Kerry, could you say hello?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, my name is Kerry Saner-Harvey. I'm Mennonite settler guest here in Treaty 1. Also very happy to be with you on behalf of the planning committee for the We Are All Treaty People celebration over the last 5 years. We are very grateful that you were able to join us this afternoon, and to be able to be a part of this event. It is a great honor that you're able to be with us. And it has been a joint effort with a lot of us. We are incredibly grateful to our partnership with the Treaty Relations Commission of Manitoba and all the work that folks like Jim and Angela and others have been done behind the scenes as well in putting this all together. So I'll just leave it at that, but say incredibly grateful how incredibly grateful I am that we're all able to be here this afternoon. And thank you, Jim.
And you know, Kerry, we want you here too, because there may be some questions that we have on our chat that people may want to ask in relation to the commemoration that we're doing today and even the entertainment today. So stay tuned, Kerry, if there's any questions. And audience, feel free to chat with us as we move along. So I guess without further ado, we're going to kick off with our first guest, and that would be Brandi Vezina, a Winnipeg singer-songwriter whose authentic country roots are intertwined with rock and blues. She is a natural-born performer who comes from a musical Métis family. Vezina's debut album, Don't Settle, is releasing September 24th, 2021, just around the corner, with songs that encourage women to stand up for themselves in their personal and workplace relationships. Vezina was recognized as the Manitoba winner of the 2021 Jim Beam's National Virtual Search, and she was nominated for a Summer Solstice Indigenous Music Award in the Métis Artist of the Year category and the Manitoba Country Music Association NCI FM Indigenous Country Music Award in 2021. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Brandi Vezina.
Don't have to go within, not where people stay. so very much. My name is Brandi Vezina. I'm a singer-songwriter from Manitoba. I'm very grateful to be able to perform with my band today. And I'm so thankful to be able to say that we are here on the homeland of the Métis Nation and to be from the homeland. And it is an honor to be able to perform and sing songs from my country Métis roots. Merci. That song means so much to me because I grew up singing it with my grandparents. We come from a musical Métis family. I sang that with my grandparents' band, the Why Not Band, as a teenager, making my chops in seniors' homes. And it's been a real blessing to be able to attend church, the Anglican church, St. Philip's in our area, and to be able to do that with my grandparents.
Thank you, Brandi Vezina, for those great songs, and love to hear the history behind them. That's also inspiring. And just so you know, we will have these recordings posted later, most likely on Facebook, the Facebook event page, or the We Are All Treaty People website. This morning we did have a commemoration ceremony at the Healing Forest Park at St. John's, and I'd like to introduce you to one of the people that helped us put this together, Elaine Bishop. And we did have a recording of her this morning, so we'd like to play that now. And she's going to speak about the land acknowledgement and one of the reasons why we are having this event every year. So Elaine Bishop from the Quaker denomination.
I am a Quaker representative on the Planning Committee, and it has been my honor to be the chair this year of our Planning Committee. So I am thrilled to welcome you all here today. I think this is a very special time and special event. Renewal is one of the things that needs to happen between treaty partners on a regular basis, and so to have this time together today is a real honor. I would like to recognize that we are meeting on the territory of Treaty 1, which is the homeland of the Cree, Anishinaabe, and Dakota peoples, and the homeland of the Métis. And it is a gift that I am able to be here as a settler, and that part of what we try and do as honorable treaty partners is to find opportunities like this to come together on the land. I take very seriously that it is the responsibility of settlers and newcomers to help all settlers and newcomers understand that they are treaty people, and all need to gain a sense of the gifts that we receive because of treaty, and that the treaty relationship is one of respect and one of reciprocity. And the history of my people has been that they do a better job of taking than of giving back. And I am committed, as I know many others who are here from the settler and newcomer communities, of changing that relationship. And this is such a wonderful opportunity, both for me personally to make that commitment, but for us also to look forward to this being a continuing relationship that will be renewed.
Okay, well, thank you, Elaine, for that message and for some of the reasons why we're having the event here today, this morning and today. And along with that, we had, as I had mentioned, elders from the Treaty Relations Commission of Manitoba. And I'd like to introduce you to Harry Bone, who is an elder from the TRCM. And we did these short vignettes that speak to the spiritual covenant that we invoke when we do treaties. So I will I'd like you to present this to you, the covenant and why we're celebrating with treaties with Elder Harry Bone. The Treaty Relations Commission of Manitoba and the First Nations Education Resource Center brings you Treaty 150 cultural teachings from our Council of Elders.
It's important to recognize that very word covenant. What does it mean in English? Well, it has a similar appearance in our languages, because the covenant is something very sacred, something very, very outstanding for us. So is that pipe. That pipe is also as equivalent as the Bible, so that in other words, if that's what they describe as their covenant, as their principles, who they are as nations, and so do we. See, that's right, because those very things were practiced 150 years ago, and that's what we want to celebrate. Those gifts that we had 150 years ago, not to celebrate the misery and the consequences, the crisis that we have here now. That's not what we're celebrating. We're celebrating 150 years of Canada, of Manitoba, that sort of thing. On the government side, they're celebrating, but we're celebrating our original spirit intent of our treaties. That gives our people our relationship with the Creator, our relationship to the land, our relationship to one another, to make sure that our languages are there, our teachings are followed, our history is told in our journey in our lifetime. So that's what we're celebrating, and in our total existence as we existed 150 years ago.
For more cultural insights into the treaty-making process, please visit us at trcm.ca or mfnerc.org. Well, I'd like to thank Harry Bone for his knowledge within that vignette, and also like to acknowledge the Manitoba First Nations Education Resource Center, which helped us with those videos. So back to the entertainment. And now I would like to introduce you to Island Breeze Manitoba. Island Breeze Manitoba is a charity in Steinbach, Manitoba that shares cultural performances from the Pacific Islands, as well as runs a Christian discipleship training school for young people 18 years and up. They have a special focus on connecting with Indigenous communities in Manitoba and learning and sharing about what it means to be a cultural person in their fullness. Island Breeze Manitoba partners with local organizations like the Food Bank and churches, and also travels to First Nations communities for performances in schools and community celebrations. Ladies and gentlemen, Island Breeze.
Tanse, anin, bulavinaka, talofa, bonjour, kia ora, yorana, from the South Pacific Islands. We are honored and privileged to be here on this beautiful land of Canada, Turtle Island, North America. And we honor the first people of this land, First Nations, Inuit, Métis, and all the different nations that have created this beautiful nation of Canada. We're Island Breeze Manitoba, and we're excited to be here celebrating that we are all treaty people. We're honored to share our culture with you, our dances, and we will do so from the islands of Tahiti and also from the islands of Hawaii. So sit back, relax wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, and enjoy the show. As Island Breeze to you right there at your home, bringing the islands, the Pacific Islands, to your doorstep. Ladies and gentlemen, we take you to the islands of Tahiti. Our warriors with the conch shell. When you hear this sound in the Pacific Islands, it's a sound, a call for us to come together, as we have done so on this beautiful day, celebrating that we are all treaty people. We take you to our people and to our land, and share with you Te Tuanera, Yorana from the islands of Tahiti. Hey, Tamore Tahiti, Yorana. Give it up for your dancers from the islands of Tahiti. You're not Tahiti, Tuanera, Terribo, Eteano, no Teanera, Tuateri, Tuamoe, Tearafai, Atatue, Tuanera, Terrimo. Te anaona te anera, te tua teri, te tua moe te arafai, tatoe. Arafa mai oe, aroa te tua e, te aroa e manu tere au e. Arafa mai oe, aroa te tua e, tia, e aroa e aroa e manu tere au e te atua e, atona mai e tu mara, e ia te ne whenu e, para te tamatai. Atana mai e to mana ilia te whenue para te tamatei mai e te tue ya yesu terie hey. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time from your dancers from the islands of Tahiti. So what does it mean for us to be treaty people? For us as a group, we came here to this province of Manitoba in 2009, and we felt very important as in our culture to do protocol. Protocol is something that you recognize when you're in an environment, somebody's house, that there are a set of guidelines and rules that you have to follow. And for us, we felt it very important that we were to be invited by First Nations, Inuit, Métis, indigenous people of the land, the government representation, city, and also the church. And so we felt it very important to do that and bring in gifts. And the conversation was just saying that we're here to journey alongside each other and listen to each other and hear each other's stories. And so I think when we talk about being treaty people, it's very important to honor that, and also doing all that you can in honoring those very things that you talk about. And so that is what it means for us, and we're excited just to be celebrating this awesome occasion. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for having us here today. We are honored and privileged to partner with you in celebrating that we are all treaty people. We bring it out to the islands of Hawaii and greet you with aloha. Aloha means a lot of things. It means hello, goodbye, I love you, and so much more. It also means A-L-O, alo, to come into the presence of Ha, the breath of life. So when we say aloha to one another, we're speaking life to each other. So why don't you turn around and say aloha to your neighbor, to your family there right in your house. Give them a hug. We say now, bid you with aloha from the islands of Hawaii. Hey! Aloha is the word that has so many meanings, like say hello and goodbye. It means how are you and I wish you so. Hope you're feeling alright. But most of all is the feeling that will make you feel so good inside. Because aloha means with all my love, oh my love to you. Yeah. You gotta feel aloha. Aloha brings us all together. Say aloha if you're looking for fun and pleasure. Share aloha, reach out and lend a helping hand. You gotta feel aloha, aloha. It's the heartbeat of this land. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate that we are all treaty people, let me introduce our group to you and show you how much of a mixed fruit bowl that we are. To the right of me, we have the beautiful Christy from the islands of Red Lake, Ontario. Yeehaw! To the left of Christy, my beautiful wife, Tessa Massey from Winnipeg, Manitoba. And the back over here, the white warrior we call him, from the island of Swift Current, Saskatchewan. Yep. To the right of him we have the big warrior from the islands of Fiji, from Burimbasangayasawa. Give it up for Simeli. And on the bass, ladies and gentlemen, we have Jeff Neufeld from Steinbeck. Woo! And on the drums, ladies and gentlemen, we have Mr. John Mawa from the islands of Fiji, Vikombia Madawata, Bulasia Bulare. And ladies and gentlemen, my name is Isi Masi from the islands of Kandavu, beautiful islands of Fiji. We bid you from the islands of Hawaii. Farewell with aloha. Yeah. can have the feeling it comes from you. They will make you feel so good inside. Because aloha means without my love. Oh, my love to you. Hey, you gotta feel aloha. Aloha brings us all together. Say aloha if you're looking for fun and pleasure. Share aloha, reach out, let it happen, yeah. You gotta feel aloha, aloha. It's the heartbeat of this land. You gotta feel it, aloha. Feel aloha, heartbeat of this. Everybody feel it, aloha. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, from us to you all, we bid you aloha. We are Island Breeze Manitoba. Thank you for having us with you on this virtual concert. That we are all treaty people, and we honor all, again, First Nations people, Inuits, Métis, all the indigenous people of this land, and all the people that make up this beautiful nation of Canada. Thank you for welcoming us to your land. Thank you for sharing your land with us, and we are honored to be here. From the islands of the Pacific, we say one more time, aloha, hey!
Okay. Thank you for that that entertainment from the Island Breeze Manitoba. We hope that you're enjoying all this entertainment that we're bringing to you this afternoon from the We Are All Treaty People committee. And with that, I want to introduce you again to Kerry Saner-Harvey, who would want to say a few words, or is going to say a few words in relation to the event that we had put on today and are putting on right now. So, Kerry.
Yeah, thank you, Jim. And thank you to Island Breeze and all the other participants. I just wanted to say really briefly a bit about why we're gathered here, why we're doing this webinar. So the vision that we came to understand about why we are doing this is that we wanted to provide an opportunity for settlers and newcomers to join together with Indigenous people in celebrating the kinship relationship that was created by the Sacred Covenant of Treaty 1, as well as the other numbered treaties, and to share in the richness of these cultures through music and the arts, and to honor the treaty commitment to share this land together in a good way, while acknowledging also the pain caused by the many broken promises. So that's the vision of what we're doing. And in that, we're acknowledging that we have a long way to go in coming to right relationships, into honoring the treaty partnership that we are a part of. And part of that is just firstly acknowledging that we are in this relationship together. So when we say that we're celebrating this relationship, a relationship that we know has had a lot of pain and a lot of brokenness, but also a relationship that we can work together to come together in a good way. The purpose of this celebration is intended to be so both reflective and celebrational. And so we bring together artists who identify as Indigenous and settler and newcomer in order to be able to celebrate the diversity of what we all bring to this day together. So we are really grateful for the opportunity to share this time together. We also know that we hope that this can be an opportunity for us to learn and to engage more. And so if we invite you, if you have thoughts and questions, we also invite you to engage with us more as well, because this is an opportunity for us to all learn, because we all have a long way to go as well. So thank you so much. Back to you, Jim.
Thank you, Kerry. And I'd like to say it was a pleasure working with you and the committee, all the churches in putting this thing together over the past year. So, you know, as I had said, we did have a celebration this morning, and we did have some speeches this morning. And at this point, I'd like to bring you back to one of the commemoration conversations that we had with Elder Bone this morning, or one of the speeches, sorry, that we had this morning with Elder Bone about the meaning of the ceremony. So I want to bring that to you now.
I think it's important to understand why we're doing this from our perspective and also from your perspective. That's what relationship is all about. See, 150 years ago, we conducted the same ceremony that we witnessed here this morning. Even before then, we conducted the ancient ceremony about the pipes, the drum, the songs that were sung, even before Europeans arrived here. Why that's important? Because more than 150 years ago, as you probably noticed in the introductory remarks, welcome to, there's various groups of people that were acknowledged, but it's the Anishinaabe people that signed the Treaty 1 in this territory. So that's why it's important that we speak from our languages. So I think what's important for us is to remember why this is important. So us as human beings today, it's our responsibility to pick up that knowledge, to make sure that's living today, here today. That's why we call, we have to know where we come from to understand where we're going to go. So that's why that direction is important. So that's why we do that. As we move our directions to the north, that word Giweden is actually a very important word. And not only does it say north, but Giweden is actually a journey of us, a journey of our lifetime. Since you're born, you have a responsibility in your lifetime. Whether it's 30 years, 50 years, 80 years, you have a responsibility and obligation as a human being to make a contribution. That contribution usually is kindness, respect for all people. So that's what it means, Kiweden, because we all believe that we came from someplace. Our teachings tell us that. As we come around here in our spirit, as we land here, we are born. We have a journey in our lifetime on Mother Earth from where you are to the next world. And we also believe that after we all die, we go back to the same journey back upwards. So that's why that pipe ceremony is important. That pipe ceremony was conducted thousands of years before the Europeans arrived here in the time of treaty to confirm who we are as people, as Anishinaabe people. That confirms us, our law, Anishinaabe law, Anishinaabe Onishawewen, that tells us who we are. That's why we call ourselves nations, that's why we call ourselves people, and that's our sovereignty, and that's our constitution, exactly what you represent here today. The reason why I'm telling you this, because it's non-Indigenous people. Canada represents you. Canada becomes a country. Canada has also certain principles why they call themselves a nation. To be any kind of country in the world, whether it's Canada, the United States, or 200 countries in the world, they have to have some principles to guide them. The first principle is about people. You have to have people, have to have language, have to have teachings, have to have history, form of government, and in fact, you have to believe something greater. That's exactly what you witnessed here in the pipe ceremony this morning. So that tells us, that relationship that we established 150 years ago was very much alive before and very much alive today. So that I honor the people, Elaine especially, in the planning committee, to say to us, let's do the original, what we did 150 years ago, as we come to this world now. As you probably know, through Manitoba represents Manitoba, the central of North America. That's why it's important, I think, we do this ceremony this time here, because 150 years ago, we, as First Nations people, we welcome you with open arms. Welcome to this great land. So you can make a living, you can exist, you can live as a person, as a human being. So we did 150 years ago. So that it's a symbolic thing. It's from you to walk from all directions. To come and meet us here, we will welcome you here as you come to the center part here. So that's what the ceremony is all about. So I think the planning committee, the churches and the religions are represented here. And all talking about the same thing, about our relationship to one another. It's about love, it's about respect. It's about honoring that mutual respect for all of us. So that's what relationship is all about. Agoi Idiwin is simply that. Agoi Idiwin is something that, you put something on top of the other. That on top of the other, of course, is the pipe ceremony that we did here 150 years ago. So that's why we're here today. I'm very honored, that on behalf of the Elders Council, that we Florence and I represent, to be part of this process, as then by the Treaty Commission as well. So I think then we welcome all of you here to come to this great land. With that,
So again, I'd like to thank Elder Harry Bone for those words of wisdom. It was quite the event this morning, very touching. We did have the sacred fire. We did have representatives of all the churches there this morning. We also had a feast and a giveaway, as is our custom. And we did have a ceremony where we walked in the newcomer settlers from the 4 cardinal points, and they were greeted by the Treaty 1 and Treaty 2 representatives that we had there this morning. So it was quite the event. And also I'd like to acknowledge Ron Pineda, who is with Artisan Visual. So yeah, he's been such a great help to us, and I'd like to acknowledge him. So without further ado, we're going to get back to our entertainment. And so I'd like to introduce you now to Steve Bell. You probably heard of him. He is a songwriter, storyteller, and a troubadour for our time. Over the course of a 30-year solo career, he has been sharing a message of love, hope, and faith through songs, stories, and writings. He is a purveyor of truth and beauty and champion of kindness, all a focused mission for refreshing Christian faith and spiritual tradition for the weary and the wary. He is a mentor to many and an advocate of numerous meaningful causes, using his stage to build awareness and provide thoughtful help to the world less fortunate and resourced. To date, Steve has put out a total of 20 albums, 4 concert videos, 5 songbooks, and more than 2,000 shows of body of work, equaled by few artists. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Steve Bell.
There are older ways of living, much wiser than the ways we know. Kinder and forgiving of the limits we're inclined to loathe. Native to this land that God has given us to grow, the seeds of love, the shoot of faith, the tree of hope. In the spiral of our sinning, in the manufactured grim disgrace of betraying our beginnings with viral acts of greed and waste. Planted in the midst of these bewildering displays lies a garden tended by a gardener's grace. Perhaps it's not so bad that things decay, that ocean breakers ebb and flow away, that light ascends and settles at the ending of the day, that beating hearts can stop and start again. There's a reverence unfolding in the secrets of the lowly and least, and the arts of better knowing, of letting go and planting seeds. Blessed are the ones who herald wisdom of the past to save us from these dreadful things at last. Perhaps it's not so bad that things decay, that ocean breakers ebb and flow away, that light ascends and settles at the ending of the day. The beating hearts can stop and start again. Perhaps it's not so bad that things decay, that ocean breakers ebb and flow away, that light ascends and settles at the ending of the day. That beating hearts can stop and start again.
Hi, my name is Steve Bell. I live with my wife Nancy on Treaty 1 territory, gratefully live on Treaty 1 territory, and so honored and feel so privileged to be asked to contribute a couple songs to this celebration. When I started to think about songs I could do, that first one just came to mind. There are older ways of living much wiser than the ways we know, and there's gardening themes, and there's creation themes, and there's respect themes. There's also an acknowledgement of the devastations that come from when we don't respect our creaturely limits with animate nature or inanimate nature, and so it seemed an appropriate song. This next one comes to mind too, as we think about reconciliation and even initial conciliation between, like proper conciliation between First Nations and settler people. There's an English theologian named Tom Wright who wrote this beautiful little essay on how we come to know the other or each other. And he makes the argument that you can't know what you first don't love, that love precedes knowledge. I must love something to come to know it. And usually in the Western sort of civilization culture, the Enlightenment culture, we think differently than that. We think that we come to know something and then decide if we're going to love it. But he says, no, you'll never know what you don't first love. Love precedes knowledge. And then he says, and therefore, wouldn't you love to know? And a song came from it, and I thought it'd be appropriate for this event. 2, 1.
If you have to love the truth just to know if it is true, wouldn't you love to know? If the essence of a thing begs to hear your tender wooing, wouldn't you love to know? If you can't know a part without delighting in the whole, wouldn't you love to know? If you'd never know a kiss without first cherishing the soul, wouldn't you love to know? To know as you are known, simply love as you are loved. Gently turn this fertile loam to unearth the fragrance of the lover's drug. From the far cloud-hidden star to the solitary bug, wouldn't you love to know? Frankenstein and Faust are yet the rage, unspeakable the severing damage done. Yet on the wind the distant sound of drum and the sweetness of the sage still might come a kinder age. See the wonder-stricken child, hear the elders wise in song. Wouldn't you love to know? Wouldn't you love to know? Wouldn't you love to know?
I have one more song to do for you. I was asked if I could say a little something about what the treaties mean to me as a settler person, as a settler Christian. And I don't want to say too much because I'm just starting to even coming to understand the richness and the nuance of the word treaty. I was sort of brought up to sort of think it was just another word for legal document, and a legal agreement that can be disputed in court or something like that. But I'm just coming to realize that it's much more of a relational term than a legal term, that a treaty is more like a marriage covenant than a legal agreement. It's a commitment to a mutually flourishing relationship. And when settler people betrayed those treaties, they betrayed friendships. They betrayed commitments to friendships. They just didn't transgress a law. And when I realize how that has happened and how profoundly, it hurts the heart. And I'm just beginning to even contemplate what it might mean to repair that. So I won't say much about that. I need to be led in that more than lead in that. So that's fair enough. But I know that even in the description of this event, I love this. This event is to provide an opportunity for settlers and newcomers to join together with Indigenous people in celebrating the kinship relationship created by the signing of Treaty 1. And to think of the possibility that there is still kinship on offer to us, relationship, brotherhood, sisterhood, friendship, those things. It's pretty miraculous considering what's been done over the past few centuries. So I humbly commit myself to the process, whatever that may be, and hope that my art and my singing and my words and my presence and the way I walk in this world contributes to a restoration of the kinship that was the original intent of the treaties. So thanks for this opportunity. I have one more song to sing for you. It's an old one. I wrote this years ago. It's out of the book of Isaiah, the Old Testament. It's a very simple song, but it takes on a new meaning with every decade, and it means something new to me now, given the what's going on in our country right now. It's called "Wings of an Eagle."
As we hope in the Lord, we will gain our strength. We will run for miles. We will stand up straight. We will not grow weary. We will not grow faint. On the wings of an eagle we will rise. As we hope in the Lord, we will gain our strength. We will run for miles. We will stand up straight. We will not grow weary. We will not grow faint. On the wings of an eagle we will rise. On the wings of an eagle we will rise. On the wings of an eagle we will rise. For our hope is found in the power of God. On the wings of an eagle we will rise. On the wings of an eagle we will rise. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. For Creator God calls his people home, not to be afraid as we journey the road Hand in hand, we'll be walking with the Lord our God. On the wings of an eagle we will rise. As we hope in the Lord, we will gain our strength. We will run for miles. We will stand up straight. We will not grow weary. We will not grow faint. On the wings of an eagle we will rise. On the wings of an eagle we will rise. On the wings of an eagle we will rise. For our hope is found in the power of God. On the wings of an eagle we will rise. On the wings of an eagle we will rise. You can sing this part with me. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Two more like that. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. On the wings of an eagle we will rise. On the wings of an eagle we will rise. For our hope is found in Creator God. On the wings of an eagle we will rise. On the wings of an eagle we will rise. On the wings of an eagle we will rise. On the wings of an eagle we will rise. We will rise.
Thank you very much, Steve Bell. On the wings of an eagle we will rise. Awesome song, very appropriate for what we're doing here today. As I had mentioned, we had a giveaway this morning, and a big part of that giveaway was a fellow by the name of Keith Barber, who is well known, not to me, but well known to my co-host here, Kerry Saner-Harvey. So I'm going to throw this to Kerry to introduce Keith Barber and his message.
Thanks, Jim. Yeah, so this morning, we're aware that many of you that are watching now weren't able to be a part of this event this morning. We wish that we could have been all together. Wish it could have been a public event in which everyone could have participated. But with the realities of the pandemic, that wasn't possible. But we were gifted this morning by Keith Barber, who is a settler art teacher from Winnipeg, Manitoba. For the commemoration event held this morning, Keith took on a significant initiative to create bowls, smudge bowls, as part of the giveaway for the participants. I'm not exactly sure the number, but a good number, well over 80, maybe 150. And he's also partaking in going to be doing another project that's part of this, as he's going to be creating 150 mugs, which are going to be given to encourage settler participants to make commitments to honor treaties. And so here's a short little video that Keith is that's gonna tell a bit about what this project that he chose to do and how you could get involved with this as well, because I think it's a significant personal undertaking that he chose to do this. So this is a bit about why he chose to do this.
My name is Keith Barber. I'm a treaty partner here in Treaty 1. made smudge bowls this year for giveaway at the treaty celebration because I can try to move forward in a good way, but I can't undo the pain of the past. If you want to participate and get the mug at the end of it, you can send me an email at treatypartner150@gmail.com. Treaty and partner are both capitalized for the first letter of the word.
Well, thank you, Keith Barber, for that. And I noticed, Kerry, you're also part of that that video. Very nice. And here's one of the bowls that we were given this morning, and it's very intricate and very nice work. And it has the 4 colors of the 4 directions on it. And again, that is a smudge bowl. So in keeping with the feast and the giveaway, we again availed the knowledge of the elders, and we have another short vignette that we put together from Elder Florence Painter, and she explains the celebration and the meaning for all people in relation to the feast and the giveaway. So without further ado, Elder Florence Painter. The Treaty Relations Commission of Manitoba and the First Nations Education Resource Center brings you Treaty 150 cultural teachings from our Council of Elders.
If you look at all the cultures on a global scale, I think we are not so far removed from other practices. A celebration is a celebration, whether it's to wrap up something, there's always a feast that follows. You know, any engagement has always been followed by a feast and always by a giveaway. And even with the giveaway, right, we see the exchange between our brothers from the other side and a representative of our people, you know, with the handshake. When we have our ceremonies, we do our giveaways. You know, of course, I'm going to give you a gift and you're going to acknowledge that gift by shaking my hand, right? Yes. So there's always that exchange.
For more cultural insights into the treaty-making process, please visit us at trcm.ca or mfnerc.org. And again, thank you, Elder Florence Painter, for those words of wisdom. And those videos are all available, will be presented on YouTube or on YouTube, and also within the Treaty Relations Commission website, and also on the Manitoba First Nations Education Resource Center website. So back to entertainment. I'd like to introduce you to Shanley Spence, who has risen to become a prominent, well-known Indigenous community advocate with roots of Cree ancestry from her mother's community of Puckatawagan, and Soto Anishinaabe from her father's community of Lake St. Martin First Nation. Born and raised in Winnipeg, Manitoba, she holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in International Development from the University of Winnipeg. She began dancing at the age of 3, evolving into her highly sought, world-class, internationally known hoop dancing at the age of 13. Her participation within her community has earned her the Top 40 Under 40 Manitoba Award for 2017, a Manitoba Youth Achievement Award for Artistic Performance, and many, many other recognitions. Shanley now helps to bring healing, storytelling, and reclamation to people from all over the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Shanley Spence.
Tanse Netutamak, Wapangi Sakawi Pisim Esqueona Tisnakasin, Namama Oche, Matthias Colomb, Cree Nation, Agua-Napapa, St. Martin First Nation, Winnipeg, Manitoba, and Tochin. Hello and greetings to all my relatives out there. Thank you so much for joining me in this virtual space. My English name is Shanley Spence, and my spirit name in the Cree language translates to Dawn Woman or Early Morning Sun Woman. And I'm here today to bring forward some beautiful dancing and some teachings about the Indigenous traditional hoop dance. My Cree ancestry comes from my mother's side, from their community known as Matthias Colomb Cree Nation up in Pakitawagan. And my father's side of the family is Ojibwe or Sodo from Lake St. Martin First Nation. But I was born and raised here in the city in Winnipeg, Manitoba. And I've been dancing all my life. I picked up the hoops when I was around 13 and been dancing since then. I just want us to take a moment to stretch if you feel like you need to move your body, and also I invite you to take a couple of deep breaths with me. So just inhaling through the nose, you can close your eyes or keep them open. And just take that deep collective inhale together right into the belly, and then exhaling slowly. Just to bring ourselves into the present moment, just to reconnect with our bodies, reconnect with each other. And let's do one last one, as big as you can, inhaling, holding it at the top for as long as you can. And then when you exhale, just focus on releasing any tension, any energy that doesn't serve us here in this space, and to clear a space so that we can be open-minded, open-hearted, open-spirited to the rest of the presenters here today. And I also have a beautiful smudge ready for us here. So I have some prairie grown sage. And I like to start off my sessions this way, just to kind of invite that clarity of energy and to just bring forward some intentions for this time shared. And just say a little prayer before we get into it. So my intentions here today are that I hope that everyone is feeling well within their bodies. I hope everyone is feeling healthy and vital, and that their families are strong and making their way through this time on earth right now. And my intention is to just bring forward my own humble teachings that have been passed on to me from the community members here in Winnipeg, and to acknowledge that there are so many stories and so many teachings and origin stories of where this hoop dance comes from. And I did come forward with my own unique perspective and my own unique way of viewing this dance. And so I just hope that you take something away from our session here today, that you see what you're meant to see, that you feel inside what you're meant to feel, and that this hoop dance brings forward this chance to open ourselves up to the thought of unity and that thought of collective consciousness, and that I am merely only a reflection of you, and that in order to move forward in this world, we all need to work together, and we all need to understand our equal role to play in this grand circle of life, and that everything is tied into where we are now, our past, our present, and our future. And I just hope that the work that we continue to do is felt and seen by our future generations. So thank you so much, Kinanaskimit Nawao Egosani. Thank you for having me here today. So this hoop dance, I was taught, was a healing dance and a storytelling dance. So when we dance this dance, it's for reasons greater than ourselves. We dance for healing, we dance for our elders, for our future generations, for the children, for the youth. We dance for those who are sick, for those who can't dance, or for those who couldn't dance. And we dance for the protection of our lands and our waters. And we dance to bring balance into our life and to really reach Milo Pima Tisawin, which means the good life in Cree. And that's what this hoop shows us here, is that balance within the medicine wheel, within the 4 directions of our mind, body, emotions, and spirit. And it's a storytelling dance as well. So I'm going to be creating many different formations. You might see an eagle soaring through the sky. You might see a blossoming flower. You might see different animals or different tricks or illusions that bring you into a different state or make you think of a certain memory or make you think more deeply about this life experience. And so I invite you to open your mind, open your heart, open your spirit, connect to that inner child inside, and use your imagination to see what you can see in this story that I'm presenting. And for me personally, I like to bring forward a story of evolution, of empowerment and reclamation, and that unity. You know, as we say, that we are all treaty people, that we are all related, we are all relations. Everything is interconnected, and that's such an important message for humanity, whether you're Indigenous or non-Indigenous, to fully come into knowing and understanding and awareness. And so I hope this dance brings forward some beautiful truths and some beautiful teachings, and that you take what you need from it. So again, thank you to the organizers for having me in this space, and I hope you enjoy the dance.
Hey!
Well, thank you, Shanley Spence, for that spectacular display of hoop dancing, and also for those very, very powerful words, teachings from someone so young and so knowledgeable. So spectacular. I just want to acknowledge that song as well. I don't know if you've noticed it, but there are women singing in that song as well, and they're singing with the men, which is part of the culture, and how everybody sings together and brings everybody together, and also with that hoop, the teachings are there. So in the spirit of that, we're going to bring you another cultural teaching from Elder Sherry Spence from Anniversary, Ontario, I believe. She's going to speak to the music and to the healing spiritual nature of song. And this is another one of our cultural teachings, as I had said, and it's going to honor the holder of the song and the songs for the children. The Treaty Relations Commission of Manitoba and the First Nations Education Resource Centre brings you Treaty 150 cultural teachings from our Council of Elders.
There's songs for what we call Ogichta. Contemporary way they say that's a warrior, but really it's a man who has a great heart. And then we have what we call the one that he rendered all the time was about the spirit woman Manitoba, the one that's in the sky realm. And check beat, I guess that's what we would call it. That's when the woman they do that to call out to those spirits and to acknowledge and honor those spirits, but also to honor the holder of the song, which is the sky woman, that spirit woman who sits in the sky realm. Those are some of the songs, and of course we have songs for our children, even during our life transition ceremonies, when there's birthing, and I'm sure that was all happening during the signing of treaties.
For more cultural insights into the treaty-making process, please visit us at trcm.ca or mfnerc.org. Thank you again for those cultural teachings from our elders, the Treaty Relations Commission elders, which are available to go and speak in any of the communities, any of the churches, anywhere where they're needed to pass on their teachings. You can just look on our website, the Speakers Bureau, for booking our elders and booking our speakers. So thanks again, Sherry. So again, we're going to get back into the entertainment that we have here today. And I'm going to introduce you to Well Sister. Well Sister is a songwriter from Treaty 1 territory, Winnipeg, Manitoba. She writes alternative, soulful, and vulnerable folk music on themes related to mental health and spirituality. Her current music speaks to her journey living with and recovering from clinical depression, depersonalization disorder, and OCD. Well Sister is committed to sharing her music and poetry in the name of hope and healing, to raise awareness about mental illness, reduce stigma, and help people feel less alone. Well Sister.
Hello, my name is Jamie, and in the world of music, I go by Well Sister, and it's an honor to share a couple songs with you today. I'm delighted that the We Are All Treaty People folks asked me to come and share a few songs with you, and I realize this is a big year. I think it's 150 years since the treaties were signed. And I'm coming to you from Winnipeg, Manitoba, which is Treaty 1 territory. And as I was reflecting a little bit on this event, I was thinking about what it means for me to be a treaty person. And I think in my own life, it really has meant recognizing the history of this land and understanding that I am here and have the privilege I do because of colonization. And that very movement that has led me here and given me a lot in this life has also discriminated and taken so much away from other lives, and to really sit with that tension. I also feel that to be a treaty person means that I show up in ways that honor what the treaties were meant to be, which was, I understand, a contract that was supposed to bring about equity and good relationship. And so I hope and I strive to move the world in my words and deeds and choices in ways that hopefully honor what those treaties are meant to be, and serve justice and serve this land in a good way. So thank you for having me. I'll be sharing a couple songs. My friend Claire Schellenberg will be joining me. And yeah, thank you.
All right, this first tune is called Annie.
She lays her head down like the fight is so unfair. 10 minutes at a time, so she survives. When there are no spoons left to give away. Did you know the bravest thing you did was lose control? It's often what it takes to shed the smoke, and it's those who lose their lives that find their gold. So raise your head, the waves that wash upon the shore, and press your back against the rock till you feel the moon. Annie, I know you're scared, but the thoughts won't kill. They'll only stare, and they've got your hand and your fearful heart. Breathe now, Annie, you're held. And I know the demons come out almost any time to exalt your strength and challenge those strange lies. But just 'cause you thought it doesn't mean it's true. So bow your head and watch the fear return to gas, and press your hand against the dog till you feel the pulse. Annie, I know it's dark when your eyes adjust. You'll see the spark. But do you trust? But do you stand on our hands, Annie? Your help. So bend your knees. Spring returns to everything, and place
All right, I'm just gonna tune my guitar here to a different tuning. And this next song is called Companions. It is about... I can't tune and talk at the same time very well. Yeah, it's a song about relying on the strength of those who've gone before us to keep us moving in this world. And remembering that everything we've been through, someone else has most likely already gone through, and that somehow their spirit still keeps us going. All right. Here we go.
Oh, holy night, no moon and no light. Even so, we're here with you. A longing prayer or a blank stare. Either way, they hear the sigh. Either way, the spirit's nigh. We stand on shoulders of those who wept these same tears. And while the valley's long,
All right, and I'll do one last song here. This is another nameless song that I finished very recently, just a couple weeks ago. So let's hope I can remember the lyrics.
Sometime when I was not looking for the sunrise, just scrubbing the sink tile like a shoot. In the May when everyone else is thriving and you're barely emerging, I will never leave your side. The late blooms on time, nothing's behind. So if it takes many years to change the 1 degree over time, takes you miles from where you'd otherwise be. So keep going. I don't know what will give you strength, so I go in a circle, keep digging the same hole. I don't know what you need, and so I stand by and question where I went wrong in autumn. But I'll never leave your side. The late blooms on time, nothing's behind. So if it takes many years to change the 1 degree over time, takes you miles from where you'd otherwise be. So keep going, and every time the doubt arrives, get back to the earth's body where your faith lies. It's not fair that the store worship the goddamn is crazy. How you keep on existing, nothing's wrong with your mind. It's just this world got too insane, and your spirit couldn't sustain.
So thank you once again, well, sister, for those beautiful, beautiful songs. So again, we're going to go to a cultural teaching with Elder Florence Painter. And again, this morning we did have our ceremony, our feast, and within that we had something called the spirit dish, and what it means to us as Indigenous people. So Elder Florence Painter, once again. The Treaty Relations Commission of Manitoba and the First Nations Education Resource Center brings you Treaty 150 cultural teachings from our Council of Elders.
The spirit and intent of the spirit dish that is offered is a reflection of the faith that we have in what is being talked about and what is being negotiated and what is being agreed upon. It binds us, binds it. We always remember our ancestors, because they're the ones that really fought hard for us to be part of the treaties, and they didn't go into it lightly. They went into it thinking about the generations yet to come, and they often refer to that as for the 7 generations.
For more cultural insights into the treaty-making process, please visit us at trcm.ca or mfnerc.org.
And I think today is a real special day to be able to come together and to renew the understanding of why you came to Canada, why you came to this land. And it was because it was a place where you were welcomed. And you're going to feel that welcome again today as we reenact you coming in from the different directions that you have come from to make Canada, Winnipeg, your home. You know, and the partnerships, the relationships that our ancestors, your ancestors and my ancestors made with one another. You know, as the boats were coming to the shores, our people were there to help your people with the knowledge of the land, the knowledge of what was good food that you could eat. You know, everything like that. I think sometimes we need to make that time and just be grateful for that life. Grateful for that life of breath, you know. And it's not asking too much to reaffirm your commitment. It's not, you know, it really isn't. Relations and partnerships can take us and move us forward.
Well, thank you, Florence Painter, once again. So we are coming to the end of our show, and I'd like to introduce you to our last but not least entertainer, an engaging storyteller, singer-songwriter, and performer, and a good friend of mine, 3-time Juno Award nominee, Don Amero, has been tirelessly touring, performing, and speaking across Canada for the last decade, earning the respect and attention of the Canadian music industry and fans alike. With a proven ability to effortlessly, wow, I'm having trouble with those Leslie words, and genuinely connected with his audience. Amero's talents have been much sought after, and with uplifting beauty across 7 albums, he leaves a lasting impression. Amero, his Cree and Métis heritage, has been recognized for his advocacy work within Indigenous communities and beyond, including his participation as a youth mentor for the Winnipeg Jets and the True North Foundation Project 11. An avid public speaker, Amero created the Music is the Medicine workshop, presenting the impact and power music has mentally and physically, and this year was named the first ever advisor and chair of the CCMA Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Committee. So without further ado, Don Amero.
Hey everybody, I'm Don Amero from Winnipeg, Manitoba. And being a treaty people to me is an interesting one because I remember kind of growing up thinking a treaty people was Indigenous people, and I didn't really make the connection that, you know, when I hear the title, we are all treaty people, I started wondering, what does that really mean? And you know, trying to uncover that for myself and understand the full scope of that, and realizing that treaties are partnerships. Treaties are coming together in an agreement, and understanding that, you know, this idea of us all being treaty people is really about being a partnership, being in this together. And I think it's one of the things that we've forgotten along the way, and we're trying so desperately now to find our way back to this place of unity and togetherness. And you know, I grew up here in the north end of Winnipeg, where I had Cree and Métis roots on my mother's side, and had East Coast Acadian European descent on my dad's side. And growing up, my parents would say, "Oh, you're Heinz 57. You're a lot of things," but never really telling me I was one thing. And I remember as I got a little older, I started realizing, okay, I've got these Indigenous roots, I've got these, you know, East Coast roots, and kind of didn't really know where I fit in. And I remember thinking for a long time I lived in this no man's land, and that really didn't feel like a good, safe place to be. And only to realize again a few years after that was where I stood was on a bridge that existed between people. And it felt more of this harmonious place, a place where I could, maybe if I stood there and I could point people along and bring people together. So ever since I started doing music, that's sort of been my intention, my hope, is that I can bring people together. And not that we always have to agree, and not that we always land up in the same place, but that we can create more space for comfortable conversation, where we could be able to have these times where we can work through things together. That's always been my hope. And I remember a number of years ago when I was writing this next song, it's called We Are One. And I felt like it was a bit of a message from my ancestors on both my mother and my father's side. And this idea that we look so oftentimes at our differences rather than the things that make us the same. And I think if we spent a little bit more time doing that, we'd find a lot ourselves in a lot more space of unity and togetherness. I'm going to sing that for you right now. It's called We Are One. There's a fire burning deep down in my soul, and it won't let me go. It's everyone who's gone before me singing in my head. Get it right, be the light, the world needs you now. People dying, children fighting, pray that we could see. We are one. We are one. Can you feel it, Father, Spirit, Son? Looking at us now, wishing that we could heal that pain, yeah. Our lives a gift we must give back to be free once again. Cold hearts will keep you far behind, yeah. Open eyes, realize that we could heal that pain. We are one. We are one. Can you feel it, mother, daughter, one? We are one. We are one. Can you feel it? Yeah. We are one.
over the years, as I've been on this journey, trying to offer a place of unity and togetherness hasn't always been easy. I often say throughout the course of my career, there's been a lot of white flag moments, a lot of times when I just felt like this isn't working out, I should give up. But luckily, I've always had tremendous support and people who have held me up to do what I love. But I've also had this spirit and this seed of this spark inside me that's always said, it's worth fighting for. Keep pressing on. I'm happy to say I haven't had those white flag moments in a couple of years now, so I feel really grateful that I'm beyond those days. I hope that they continue. But I know that's not a unique story. I know many of us go through trials and tribulations in our lives as we're pressing onward to the thing that we're supposed to be doing. And I hope a song like this encourages you, because what it's saying is, around the next corner, around the next bend, everything's going to work out the way you dreamed. Or maybe not quite that what you dream all the time. It's not always what you see, but I think what it's saying is just stay the course, because whatever pain or hell or suffering you're going through right now, it's not going to be that way forever. So just keep pressing forward. That's really what I believe this song is about. Let's hold on down the road.
Standing alone, just you on this road, the bag on your back is all that you own. Well, I've kicked those stones and I've sang the blues, and I've walked those painted lines too. On down the road, well, on down the road, just keep on moving. On down the road, it seems no one cares. I'll pass you by. Another small town with no long goodbye. You're losing faith, the sun's about to set, but this ain't as good, oh, as good as it gets. On down the road, down the road, just keep on moving. On down the road. Sometimes it feels you just don't belong. Just keep on moving, keep hanging on. Just keep on moving. Yeah. On down the road, there's a warm embrace, and you'll find your place where it's still heavy low. Sometimes it feels you just don't belong. Do what you're doing, just keep on moving. On down. down the road.
So I've got one more song for you, and this one really is a togetherness song. It's about remembering that we've got each other. It's a song called "Life Gets Better." I wrote this many years ago, and I love it so much because it's kind of a simple message, kind of a simple song, but it's just recognizing that you got people out there that love you and care for you, and don't ever forget that. And sometimes I admit it's probably not always easy to feel that love and feel that care, but I think if you reach out, you're going to find it. And, when we talk about being a treaty people and the partnership and this idea of coming together and, we're not in this no man's land. There's a bridge that exists between us all. I'd like to see us all standing there together one day and recognizing we've got each other. But I think that depends on the work that we do now for our future. Thanks again for listening, and thanks for letting me, share my stories and songs with you today. Enjoy this last one.
Hold on, it will be a while until you find yourself in this place. It won't take long for you to see. You gotta go deeper to be set free. If you wanna try and walk this life alone, you're gonna find yourself far from home. Take my word and you're gonna know that life gets better when you're not alone. You walk the road, but you walk alone. Forget the ones you always known. There's more to life than broken hearts. To see it clearly, gotta go back to the start. Try and walk this life alone. Find yourself far from home. Take my word and you're gonna know that life gets better when you're not alone. So come on. Oh yeah, life goes on long after the thrill of living is gone. There's many lies we're led to believe, so many more we don't see. We try so hard to push away, but the ties that bind us are here to stay. Try and walk this life alone. You're gonna find yourself far from home. Take my word and you're gonna know that life gets better. Life gets better. Life gets better when you're not alone. Take care.
Well, thank you, Don Amero, for those beautiful words. Life gets better, definitely does. And we take that message to heart. So that's our entertainment, but we do have one last cultural teaching which we'd like to give to you, and it involves the spirit and intent of treaties. and in particular the 7 teachings. As long as the sun shines, the waters flow. And once again, Harry Bone. The Treaty Relations Commission of Manitoba and the First Nations Education Resource Center brings you Treaty 150 cultural teachings from our Council of Elders.
We use words like the spirit and intent of treaty. The treaty is the written part, what was discussed, but the spirit of the treaty is about our relationship to the Creator, to the land, and we as people. The intent is to maintain that. As long as the sun shines, the grass grows, and the water flows for life. Our intent was to keep that. And we fully realized then, because the elders at that particular time said that, you have a way to connect with your Creator, and that's through the Bible, right? So then you have a way to do that. And then we have those 7 sacred teachings for our pipe ceremonies: love, respect, kindness, humility, wisdom, and the truth. Well, those words are also in the Bible. It was on an equal basis, but also too, like we remind the government, because their nation, like Canada, United States, has also certain principles that they use to define who they are as countries. And those principles are simply these: to be a country like Canada, United States, all the other countries in the world, you have to have people, have to have land, have to have language, you have to have values, wisdom, and you have to have your history, form of government, and you have to believe something greater. That's what they do. That's how United Nations define countries. While we've been doing through pipe ceremonies, the mere thing that I'm just telling you, a very practice. So that's how important that pipe ceremony is all about. But we've forgotten along the way, how to conduct these ceremonies, how important that is, because of the residential school era denied us our languages and our ceremonies. Now we're starting to pick them up again. But some of our elders maintain, these gifts. Even though they were done in the background, but they maintain them.
For more cultural insights into the treaty-making process, please visit us at trcm.ca or mfnerc.org. Well, thank you, everyone. That is our show, celebration, commemoration today, and great to work with everyone over the past year and to take in the ceremonies this morning. And I'd like to acknowledge everyone that worked with us. It was a pleasure, awesome show, celebration, commemoration, and again, acknowledging everyone through ceremony song. So with me is Kerry, Saner-Harvey, once again, and my co-host here. And I'm going to throw it to him to thank some of the people. Oh, and one last thing that I want to do. I also like to acknowledge Duncan McNerney for those pictures that you had seen earlier. Some of the people that have helped us along the way. And again, I'm Jim Compton. I would like to acknowledge my co-host, Kerry, and I'm going to turn it over to him to acknowledge the rest of the committee members.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you. And I want to acknowledge Jim, first of all, for your incredible contribution to this event overall, but specifically this afternoon. We were really honored to have Jim. Many of you maybe don't know his long history with CBC and is largely instrumental in the development of APTN, and now works with the Treaty Relations Commission in the Communications Department. And so we just really appreciate your being a part of this as well, and leading us through this process this afternoon. I just really quickly want to say thank you to the rest of the planning group members, Elaine Bishop, Catherine Boschman, Elizabeth Bonnet, Carol Dick, and Mary McNerney, as well as our partnership with TRCM, Angela McKay, Jamie Wolf, and Jim Compton, and the advisory support of folks like Elder Harry Bone and Vince Solomon, Murray Still. So we've really appreciated working with them. A big thank you also to Ron Pineda and Artisan Audiovisual for working with us this afternoon, and making sure that all the tech stuff worked really well. So really grateful for that. Also, just a quick shout out also to all the sponsors that were listed at the beginning that helped make this possible. Mennonite Central Committee, the organization I'm privileged to work for, in the Indigenous Neighbors Program, as well as the Thomas Sill Foundation, the Quakers Canadian Friends Service Committee, and also thank you to the Kapabamiakachak Healing Forest for providing this space this morning as well. So a big thank you to all those. And then finally, also just a thank you to our artists, Brandi, Vezina, Island Breeze, Steve Bell, Shanley, Spence, Well Sister, and Don Amero. It was a really good reminder to me that I think art transcends all the left brain words, you know, that we often put out there, and it can bring us together in a way that few other things can, which I think is so important, which is why I think we decided that the arts is one of the important ways that we do this together. So thank you all of you for joining us this afternoon. And back to you, Jim. Thanks.
Yep, and I again thank you, Kerry, for all your hard work, and the committee members that we worked with, Elaine Bishop, Catherine Boschman, Elizabeth Bonet, Carol Dick, and Mary McNarney. And also, I should mention the Treaty Commissioner, Loretta Ross, for allowing us to be part of this and work with the committee all year long. And lastly, the elders who provided all that cultural knowledge for us, Sherry Copenes, Elder Harry Bone, Philip and Florence Painter, and also Vince Solomon and Murray Still. So thank you all for your great work, and we're going to be doing this again next year, I hear. So, Wabmin, we'll see you again.